I got a technical for clapping. So, like, if we should all just go on the calendar now and pick a game that I'm going to be suspended for if I'm going to get technicals for clapping. I asked Gerda. Gerda said that I got a technical for clapping. So, if any technical should be taken away, it should be that one. If it's truly for clapping, that's what they said they gave it to me was for clapping. So, it's just ridiculous. I don't.
A simple clap. That's all it was. Yet somehow, that single moment has the top guard in basketball standing in front of reporters, wondering which upcoming game might cost her a suspension. And this came on a night when she scored 24 points and helped erase a 16-point deficit on her home floor. So, how did a comfortable Monday night victory become the center of a league-wide debate? And why did her own coach respond the way she did?
Technical foul, the kind of skirmishes that happened in the game. How aware do you have to make her, or she has to be about the 8 technical fouls and you get suspended for a game? That was her 5th tonight.
Yeah, I mean, she's got to be aware. Certainly, I think there are some that we could do without. There are natural things that happen that the energy of the game creates when you do get those. But there are some that we can be a little bit more in control. And so yes, we'll continue to remind her. And I think she has to have an awareness.
When Indiana Fever head coach Stephanie White was asked about the situation involving her franchise player, the first thing she emphasized was awareness. She suggested that some of these moments could be avoided. To many people in the room, that answer stood out. Caitlin Clark had just been handed a technical foul for clapping, yet the initial focus seemed to be on managing behavior rather than defending the player. White understood the seriousness of the situation. Clark now had 5 technical fouls in only 16 games, tied for the league lead. Reach 8, and an automatic 1-game suspension follows. Every 2 technicals after that bring another suspension. The numbers matter, but many fans felt there was a difference between protecting the team from future penalties and publicly supporting its biggest star.
I mean, they said that Caitlin got it for clapping, and so I guess that's taunting. And then I was talking to the officials about it when the other stuff happened, so I didn't really see exactly what was happening at the time. But look, like, it's competitive sport. Like, that stuff happens. I felt like the officials did a good job, after everything of getting it under control. I appreciate the way they called it after that.
The incident itself began late in the game. Indiana held a 73-54 lead and appeared to be cruising toward victory. During a battle for position in the paint, Clark and Phoenix veteran Dewana Bonner became tangled up. The officials called Clark for her 4th personal foul. What happened next raised the temperature instantly. Words were exchanged. Bonner turned away, and Clark took a step in her direction before an official intervened. Soon, players from both sides became involved. Alyssa Thomas and Maisha Hines-Allen had to be separated. Sophie Cunningham pointed toward Bonner, who responded immediately. As tensions grew, technical fouls were handed out across both teams. Among them was one assessed to Clark for clapping her hands. That detail would quickly become the center of attention.
I mean, I'm going to play with emotion. I'm going to play with passion. And if they're going to give me a technical foul for clapping, then so be it. That's their choice. And the league can come back and review that play. And I'd love to hear what they say of the reasoning of why I got the technical foul in that situation and why other players on their team didn't get a technical foul in that situation. If anything, split it. Okay, fine. Everybody gets a technical foul. That wasn't how they were handed out. So I'd love to know. But obviously, that's what I went to Gerda and said. I said, why'd you give me a technical foul? She said, because I was clapping and instigating. I said, okay, then you just don't like competitive basketball. And that's just facts. That's just reality.
What happened afterward may have been even more important. Clark openly identified official Gerda Gatling and explained that she had been told the technical was issued for clapping and instigating. Her reaction was direct. She suggested that anyone who viewed that moment as worthy of punishment simply didn't appreciate competitive basketball. In doing so, Clark challenged the league to stand behind the decision during the review process. The WNBA has already faced a similar situation. Earlier in the season, Dallas rookie Paige Buchers received a technical foul for clapping during a game against Atlanta. Just 2 days later, the league rescinded it. That decision created a recent example suggesting that clapping technicals may not survive review. Indiana had no ability to challenge the call during the game, but the league office can still remove it afterward. If that happens, Clark's total immediately drops from 5 technicals back to 4. Now all eyes are on the review.
That kind of started that whole incident. What did you just see from, I guess, your vantage point, and then what did you hear on the court afterwards?
I thought it was just an arm entanglement, I guess, and I thought it was fine. Like, whatever. Like, I don't think initially there was technicals handed out for that. I guess I think it was maybe the scuffle that ensued between both teams after that. Honestly, I don't remember hearing anything directly or specific words, but I don't know. I appreciate my having my back, you know?
One moment from Clark's comments revealed even more than the controversy itself. She brushed off the confrontation on the court as nothing more than players getting tangled up. But her tone changed when discussing her teammates. She expressed appreciation for having teammates willing to stand up and fight beside her. That comment seemed to reveal the deeper issue. The frustration wasn't only about a whistle or a technical foul. It was about knowing who would stand beside her when games became physical. That's why White's response drew criticism. To be fair, the coach eventually praised her team, complimented the officials for restoring order, and acknowledged the group's resilience. But for many observers, the sequence mattered. The warning came first, and the support came later. Clark's teammates showed no such hesitation. Cunningham immediately confronted Bonner. Hines Allen was eventually ejected after picking up a second technical. Whether people agreed with those reactions or not, nobody questioned where Clark's teammates stood.
You know, I thought we did a good job of refocusing and trying to, obviously they called everything from that point, which is kind of what they have to do to be able to control the game. So I don't know how long the fourth quarter was, but it felt...
That's ultimately what many people will remember. Not the victory. Not the comeback. But the feeling created by everything that happened afterward. The game itself makes the controversy seem even stranger. Indiana managed only 3 points during the opening 10 minutes and fell behind by as many as 16. The Fever looked completely overwhelmed. Then Clark took control. Kelsey Mitchell added 22 points, and Indiana stormed back for an 86-77 victory. Clark finished with 24 points and 9 assists, extending her streak of 6 consecutive games with at least 20 points and 5 rebounds, the longest such run in WNBA history according to ESPN. It should have been remembered as another remarkable performance. Instead, the conversation shifted to a technical foul for clapping. Now the league must decide whether that call deserves to remain on the record.